If you're stuck at 5 to 15 pull-ups and it feels like no matter what you do, no matter how many workouts you're doing, you still can't progress, we are going to fix that today. And by the way, the methods that I'm going to show you are applicable for every single basic exercise. So you're going to be able to improve your dips, push-ups, and so on. But first of all, why should you even listen to me? Well, I'm training calisthenics for 6 years and I can do more than 30 pull-ups, which by the way is not even my main priority now. I can also do 89 dips in one set. If you don't believe me, you can check my Instagram, the link is going to be in the description. And for the past 9 months, I'm training mainly skills. And for these 9 months, I have achieved more results that some people achieve for many years. So obviously I know what I'm doing and I know how to help you increase your repetitions in pull-ups or in any other basic exercise. So without wasting any more time, let's go straight into it. First of all, we're going to discuss the main mistakes that most likely you are making, because most people who are stuck with pull-ups and basic exercises are making. And until we fix that, you're not going to be able to improve your pull-ups. So what most people do is, first of all, low volume. They're not training the pull-ups enough. And what I mean by that is, most likely you're going to the gym, if you're going to the gym and you're doing pull-ups at the gym, or you're just going to the calisthenics park to do pull-ups, and let's say that right now your max pull-ups is 7 or 8, for example, and you're going to do 4 sets to failure. 4 sets of pull-ups to failure. So probably on the first set you're going to do like 8, if this is your max. On the second set probably you're going to do 7, and after that maybe 2 times 6, something like that. So you do 4 sets and that's it. Like low volume, just 4 sets close to failure, you know, it's not enough. I know a lot of people who are saying to me that they can't progress with pull-ups, and I asked them how many times per week you're training pull-ups, and they told me, well, 1 time per week. How do you expect to progress at pull-ups if you're going to train them 1 time per week with only 4 sets, which is extremely low volume if you want to improve in this exercise. So low frequency. If you want to improve at pull-ups, you need to train them at least 2 to 3 times per week. I hope that you can actually see the whiteboard good. So low frequency, this is the second mistake. And finally, always going to failure. And you need to understand that when you're training for strength, because we are not just training for muscle mass, we are not bodybuilders, we are not training in the gym, and when we are training always to failure, you're not going to be able to do as many repetitions as you would like to, and it's going to be hard for you to progress in strength, because when you want to do when you want to get stronger, when you want to do more repetitions, going to failure is not always the best option. So in this scenario, you're training pull-ups 1 time per week with 4 sets. Some people even do 3 sets, which is extremely low. Only 1 time per week, always 2 failures. So this is an awful example to improve your pull-ups. With this structure, probably you're going to get to like 6 or 7 pull-ups, but this is going to be your bottleneck. After that, you're not going to be able to progress. And now I'm going to show you what you should be doing instead, and I'm going to show you the structure that is actually going to help you increase your pull-ups pretty fast. Okay, and now you can actually see the structures that we are going to be using for increasing the pull-ups or the dips or the push-ups or whatever basic exercise you're going to train. So pyramids and ladders. I'm going to explain you how everything works here. So let's imagine that 8 pull-ups is your maximum right now, as we already said a few minutes ago. So instead of doing these 4 sets that we already discussed in the beginning of the video, for example, you're going to do 8, 7, 6, 6, and this is going to be a total of 27 repetitions, which is pretty low. So 27 repetitions for 1 whole week, because remember you're doing the pull-ups only 1 time per week. So, and also probably these 2 times 6 are going to be pretty ugly and bad form, because you're already tired from the first 2 sets, because you're going to failure on every single set and it's not going to be a good form. 27 repetitions, pretty bad. If you're going to use the pyramids method, you're going to start from 1 and you're going to go to 8 pull-ups. So your first set you're doing 1 pull-up and you're resting for 1 minute. So between every set you're going to rest for 1 minute. You can also rest 1 minute and 30 seconds. This is just to your feeling. You can kinda adjust it to your level and to the way you feel. It doesn't necessarily need to be 1 minute. So 1 pull-up, 2 pull-ups, 3 pull-ups, 4 pull-ups, 5, 6, 7, and at the end you're going to do 8. Maybe you're not going to be able to do 8 pull-ups at the last set, because you're going to be pretty tired from the sets before. So maybe you're going to get to 7. You're not going to do the last set, but that's totally fine. You go to total failure on the last set. Once you go to failure on the last set, you start going back again. So you go backwards. Okay? First you go down. First you go from 1 to 8, and after that you go from 8 to 1. So you go to 8 and then you come back. And let's say that your maximum was 7, you didn't manage to do 8 after that, which is okay. And then you do 7 again, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You kinda go back. And if you're going to follow this structure, the total repetitions that you're going to do are going to be 64. If you manage to do 8. If you don't manage to do 8, it's going to be 64 minus 16. So it's still going to be 2 times more than if you did 4 sets to failure, which is 27 repetitions, which is awful. And you can see that with this structure, you're going to be able to do basically double or even triple the volume for the same training session. And you're not going to go to failure on every single set, which means that you're going to have more strength adaptations and you're going to do more volume. You're going to have more practice, which means that you're going to master the pull-ups faster. You're going to increase your repetitions faster. So this is one way to do it. The other way, I hope that you can see good the board. So the other way, ladders. It's basically pretty much the same thing. You go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you go to 8. Basically you go to your maximum. You go to maximum on the last set and you don't go back after that. So basically pyramids are more intense and they have more volume than the ladders. But still 36 repetitions instead of 27. You're still going to do way more volume than if you were to do 4 sets to failure. And obviously your technique is going to be way better here, because you're going to practice sets without going to failure. Your technique is going to be better. So you can see that in these both cases, you're going to do way more volume, you're going to have way more practice than with 4 sets 1 time per week. And my suggestion would be, if you can do like 7 to 8 pull-ups only, like below 10, go with pyramids, because you're going to be able to acquire more volume and actually master the pull-ups faster. But if you can do like 12 pull-ups, 13 and above that, you can go with the ladders, because you're going to be able to acquire quite a lot of volume. But it also depends on other goals that you have and other stuff that you're training. So basically, if you can do less pull-ups, stick with pyramids. If you can do more pull-ups, go with the ladders. And another cool thing about these training methods is that it's way funnier to train, and for example you can compete with your friends if you're training together. So you can go and like every one of you do 1 repetition, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5 and so on, and basically you're competing who is going to do more repetitions. And it's pretty fun, because when I started calisthenics, I was doing a lot of these competitions with my friends for endurance, for basics, and it was pretty fun. your workouts are going to be way more interesting than just doing 4 sets to failure with poor technique. And of course your progress is going to be faster. So make sure to do this at least 2 to 3 times per week. If you're just starting calisthenics, you need more frequency if you want to increase your basics, because as you know, the faster you increase your basics, the more pull-ups you can do, the more dips you can do, and the faster you condition your body, the faster you're going to be able to go actually into harder skills like handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, planches, front levers, and so on. So yeah, basically the faster you progress in the basics, the more fun is going to be your calisthenics journey after that. And this is a bonus tip from me that you can do if you're training push and pull in the same day. So for example, you're training dips and also pull-ups. And if you're going to follow this structure, first of all, your workout is going to be way faster and you're going to be able to acquire more volume, which is going to help you progress faster. So what you can do is, instead of just spamming pull-ups or just spamming dips with the pyramids and with the ladders, you can combine them. So let's say that your max dips is 10 and your max pull-ups is also approximately 10. They're on the same level. And what you can do is you start the ladder with 2 pull-ups, and immediately after that you're not resting, immediately after that you're doing 10 dips. After that you're doing 4 pull-ups, 8 dips. After that 6 pull-ups, 6 dips. Obviously you're resting between the sets when you need some time to rest, but in general you want to do this ladder as fast as possible. And after that, you see here time, you're going to write down how fast you did it, and the next workout you're either going to increase the reps. Instead of starting with 10 dips, you can start with 12 dips, or you want to do it faster. So instead of doing it for 10 minutes, you want to do it for 9 minutes, for example. In both cases, it means that you're getting stronger and you're making progress. So this is a cool way to combine pull-ups and dips for more volume, for a faster workout, and also better results. A lot of my clients are actually following this method, and they have achieved pretty fast results in pull-ups and dips. So you can try it for yourself. It doesn't need to be like 2, 4, 6, 8. You can do it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It depends on how many reps you can do now. So you can kind of adjust it to your level. But basically this is just the bonus tip that I wanted to give you, and you can try this and see which one of these structures you like the most, and which one of them is going to actually work the best for you. And if you feel like you need some personal help from me for your workouts, you don't know how to structure them properly, how many times a week to train, for example, you want to learn also other skills like handstands, maybe muscle ups and so on, but you don't really know how to structure your workouts, you don't know what is the right technique and so on, you can apply for my one-on-one coaching. The link is going to be in the description. It's just a simple application, you can fill it out, and I'm going to reach out to you in the next 24 hours. We're going to discuss your goals and see how I can actually help you professionally. But in any case, if you think that you can do it by yourself, just try all of these 3 methods that I just showed you and see which one is going to work best for you. As always, the most important thing is just to take action, because just watching educational videos is cool, but you need to actually do the stuff that you learned today. Otherwise you're going to forget it and you're never going to use it. So if you want to increase your repetitions, follow these 3 structures that I gave you for everything: pull-ups, dips, push-ups, and so on. And I promise you, you're going to have way faster results than just doing 4 sets of pull-ups to failure, and you're just going to stuck with that. So I hope that you learned something new, you enjoyed the video, expect redemption as always, and see you in the next one.